What's going on, guys? Sumi here with ThoughtCast, and today I'm going to talk about why your boyfriend does not want you going out or posting photos on social media. So guys, if you haven't been to our channel before, ThoughtCast is a platform that is focused on holistic healing. We help people navigate different situations in life. If you haven't done so before, definitely join our private community. It's completely free, and we have a lot of information, resources, tools, and tricks to get you where you need to be in life. That being said, let's dive into today's topic. A lot of girls message me about their boyfriend not wanting them to post pictures on Instagram or social media and just really not going out. And these women are confused. They're like, is he too controlling? Is he insecure? And I completely understand where you're coming from, because when you're single, when you're not in a relationship, you can really do whatever you want. But when you get into a relationship, there are certain things that you can't take with you, right? There's certain things that you can't do. When you're in a commitment and a partnership and a moral and ethical standing with a person, there's certain things that you are not allowed to do. But where is the line when it comes to going out, having a drink with your friends, posting a photo on Instagram that may seem innocent or to him may seem very sinister? So this is where there's a blurred line here, and I'm going to try to navigate this as best as I can for you. One thing I'm going to say is it really depends on where you're coming from culturally. If you go overseas, maybe even to my country, I'm from India, people are not necessarily allowed to do that kind of stuff in certain areas. Now, India is definitely becoming more modern. A lot of people are doing things nowadays, but it's a lot different from the Western world. In countries like India, people will look down on you for posting provocatively on Instagram. People will look down on you for going out all the time and getting drunk. But over in modern first world society, especially in, the Western part of the world, it's very normal. And so where do you stand in this is what you have to ask yourself. Am I someone that operates from a very conservative culture that's more so traditional? Or am I someone that wants to live in the more modern day era and operate in what is the culture today? And there are pros and cons with all this. If you have a boyfriend that does not want you to go out, that does not want you to post pictures, I want you to understand his reasoning first before I say anything. Guys know when you post a provocative photo on Instagram, you're going to get a DM, especially if you're an attractive girl. So what I want you to do is indirectly understand that this is a compliment, but I understand the bigger issue here. But he finds you attractive. He understands that men are going to DM you. And there is a doubt that he has. And it's not necessarily a doubt in you, but maybe a doubt in the vulnerability of the relationship, because every single relationship has problems. And in a moment of vulnerability, a man that's DMing you could access you and talk to you and be a emotional area where you can vent to him. And that can cause problems, and that can cause a relationship to build within a relationship already. That is not good for a guy that's dating you. That's what he thinks. His mindset is, oh, my girlfriend's posting, a guy is going to DM her, swipe up on her story, so on and so forth, and try to engage with her in some way. And that is not necessarily secure for the relationship. See, a man can never protect a woman that he cannot control. If a man is not in control of the vehicle, he can't protect the passengers. He wants to be in control and regulate the whole situation. In today's world where social media is very much the norm, it almost becomes taboo to control your partner and to not let them do what they need to do. I'll tell you this. When you post a photo on social media as a woman, as an attractive woman, guys will DM you. It's almost the equivalent of you as a guy DMing girls, because girls don't DM guys like that. It is very rare. It does not happen the way you think. And when a girl DMs a guy, it's not like, hey, I want to hook up with you. It's, hey, where did you get that from? Hey, I really like your sunglasses. The way that she does it is she positions herself in front of him so that this man can eventually ask her out. She starts the conversation. And this is how women hit on guys in person as well. They just show a little bit of interest. They look at you and smile. This is what guys need to start to understand. A woman showing interest in you is typically just her putting herself in a position in front of you. Whereas a man showing interest in you as a woman is him reaching out to you. Men are a lot more aggressive with it because biologically men value sex a lot more. So they're more likely to chase, they're more likely to engage, and they're more likely to ask you out and engage with you. So when he sees you post this picture, it's equivalent in his mind of him messaging a bunch of girls. That's just how he thinks about it. Now to branch off that, going to a bar and club, right? Look, I was a nightclub promoter. I'll tell you this. I have seen so many people cheat on their partners, on their fiancés, on their husbands. The nightclub is a place of infidelity. And honestly, with alcohol, with good music, with a great environment, everyone's packed in close together, you're more likely to engage in a conversation with a stranger, which promotes behavior that may not be good to the relationship. What you gotta understand, ladies, is that when you go to a nightclub, there are a bunch of guys that go out just to sleep with women. When a group of guys is going out on a Saturday night, there are a very small select percentage of guys that are like, oh, I want to go out and enjoy the music. But the large majority are like, yeah, I can't wait to meet some women tonight and maybe bring one home. That's really how guys think. I'm keeping it real. Guys go out to the nightclub 95% of the time to talk to women. Single men are going out on the prowl to engage in conversation with women. And they may not. Some might be shy. Some might be confident. Some might take a girl home. And so what you got to understand is men will buy you drinks. Alcohol will reduce your inhibition. A man buying you a drink does not necessarily mean that you owe him a conversation, but that's typically what happens. A girl will talk to you for a second if you buy her a drink. And that conversation, if it's done the right way with the guy that really knows what he's doing, can cause you to engage in some sense of infidelity in an emotional aspect and maybe even in a physical aspect. So that's not something that your boyfriend will logically want. Men know that men are waiting at clubs to hit on women and to buy them drinks and to talk to them and engage with them. Women don't typically go up to guys in the clubs. Women are typically dancing. I understand you like the music, but women do it for a different reason. Women go to clubs a lot of times to feel validated, to have verification, to get the attention. And people always talk about this. You can listen to music in your bedroom. You can drink wine on your couch. Yeah, you can. You really can. You don't need to go to a nightclub to enjoy a night out and listen to music. Like, I get that it's an experience. Sometimes there's live performances. I get that. But you can do that with your partner if you really want to. When you're in a relationship, you have to understand that there are certain things that you cannot do. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go out with your girls every now and then. Like, I think that every healthy relationship should engage in some level of trust. And I'm not saying that you can't post photos on Instagram. But there is a fine line, and that really comes down to the subjective nature of what your partner is okay with. And you have to have these conversations before you even get into the relationship. For some of you, this might be too late. You have to have a conversation of like, hey, by the way, I love using Instagram. I use it for business. Is that going to be a problem for us? Like, you got to have these conversations. Or I like going out and I like doing these things. And if your partner's trying to change you, then that's not good, because the way that they found you is the way that they liked you. So if they're trying to change you from going out or doing this or that, that's not necessarily something that you should be receptive to. And guys, I will tell you, you want to date a woman that acts as a wife. You want to date the girl that demonstrates characteristics of a wife. Don't date the girl that's at a club, that's single, that hooks up with everybody, then try to make her your girlfriend, then try to tame her, then try to make her your fiance, then try to marry her. Like, that's not the way you do it. You date a girl because she's exhibiting characteristics of a wife. She may not be doing this to you, but you see that in her. You see the potential in her. And don't try to change her. If I see a girl going out every single day of the week, partying, drinking, and I want a girl that's very conservative, that doesn't engage in that lifestyle, it would be right of me to not talk to this girl. It would be wrong of me to try to get with her, emotionally connect with her, love bomb her, manipulate her, and try to change her into the person that I want her to be. That's wrong. A lot of guys will try to change you as a person. The way that you found her is the way that you really need to maintain her. You can have some growth in the relationship in certain ways, but you should be okay with her the way you found her and the way that she's going to become. So, trying to land the plane here. When it comes to what you should do and what you should not do, it really comes down to communication, comprehension, and compromise. There are certain countries where you're not even allowed to show your face as a woman, right? Very conservative Muslim countries will not allow this. There are certain relationships where people are just nude, walking around the house all the time, and it's very normal. There's couples that are swingers, and there's couples that don't engage in marriage before sex. Like, it's all over the place. So there's no right or wrong. It really comes down to compatibility. If you align with this person in the way that they present themselves and the way that they distribute their attention to other people, that's when it makes sense. And this takes a period of time for you evaluating them. You need to evaluate them for a long period of time to really understand how this person moves through life. If you meet a girl that's going out every single weekend, it's pretty safe to understand that she's probably going to do this for a period of time. You can think and extrapolate out, oh, she's not going to do this when we have kids. She's not going to do this when we get married, but you'd be surprised. Women will still go out and women will still do this because people typically don't change. On the flip side, if you see a girl that's very conservative and very shy, and you're a very big business person and you need to take her out to conferences, it may not be wise for you to date a girl like that because she can't hold her own in a conversation by herself. It's not what she's used to. It's not the environment that she likes. So you've got to really understand that the person that you get when you first start dating them is the person that you have to be happy with. And if you're happy with all these things and you can work on small goals together over a long period of time, that's when it makes sense for you. Compatibility over everything. Hope this makes sense, guys. If you guys haven't joined our community, definitely join our free community. There's a lot of information in there, and there's a lot of links down here in the description below where you can connect with me. That being said, until next time, Sumi out.